Hi, thanks for joining me today. This yoga video is going to focus on some poses that you can do during the heat of summer. A lot of times we use our yoga practice to heat us up, heat our body up physically, heat our body up energetically. But during the hot and sticky times of summer, you want to take your yoga practice a little bit more on the cooler side, stay a little bit more low to the ground and not overheat your body. So again, a short practice for that today. So you will need at least one yoga block. Two would be preferable. If you don't have a yoga block, you could always stack up some books, kind of tie them together with a little yarn or thread, and sit on those and use those later. But if you have yoga blocks, that would be great. And I'm actually going to start today seated on my yoga block. So you can do two things. You can sit on your yoga block in a cross-legged seated position to lift the sit bones up, just like we do when we are using a blanket or a firm cushion. You can also sit on your yoga block on kneeling with your knees together, the block between the ankles in this more of a seated hero pose, variation of hero pose. So whatever feels most comfortable for you today. And again, if you have a blanket or a cushion, you can always use that to sit on also. I'm actually going to do the cross-legged variation of that pose for this video. So whatever you decide to sit on and however you decide to sit, go ahead and find your even balance on your sit bones. Find your nice length of your spine. Make sure your head is balanced right over top of your shoulders. Your shoulders are right over top of your hips. Let the hands rest on the thighs with the palms facing up. And very gently let the eyes close. So we'll just take a few moments to just land in our space today. Just take a moment to check in with how your body feels physically, how your energy level is, and just checking in with the mind and just giving the mind permission to be here in the present moment, letting go of any thoughts or distractions. And just letting your focus be on your body and on your breath. And just begin to notice the flow and the rhythm of your breath, just gently breathing in and out of the nose. Just following the breath in, let the breath drop down into the bottom of the lungs as you breathe in. Follow the breath back out as you exhale. Again, another few breaths here. Again, just taking some time to slow the body down, quiet the mind. And then very gently let the eyes open. So we're going to start with a breath practice that can help to cool your body if you do feel overheated. This is Tali breath. So we're going to be inhaling in through the mouth with our tongue curled or tongue rolled like so. So you inhale in and then we'll exhale out the nose. So if your tongue doesn't curl up like that, you can just purse your lips and breathe in through that little kind of donut hole that you make with the lips. So again, either with the tongue curled or that little donut hole, and then exhaling through the nose. And again, that can help to help cool the body down. You'll notice as you breathe in through the mouth, you'll feel that that air is cooling a little bit. That warmer outside air is cooled a little bit as it comes in through the body. So again, we'll do that a couple rounds so you can keep a gentle soft focus with the eyes. You can close your eyes if you prefer, but inhaling in through the mouth, again, either with the little donut shape of the mouth or the curled tongue. And then closing the lips, exhale through the nose. We'll keep that going. Inhale through the mouth. And exhale out the nose. And keep that going. A few more rounds. Inhaling. And exhale. Inhale, think full inhale here. And long exhale through the nose. Go a couple more rounds. Inhale. And exhale. And once more, inhaling. And exhale. And then just let your breath return to its normal rhythm, normal cycle. Again, that is something that you can do whenever you're feeling a little overheated, maybe when you're in the saddle in the summer. Again, it's a little cooling practice. You can do that while you're gently walking your horse. Again, just a way that you can help to cool the body down. Or if you're just walking yourself and you've been running and you're taking a little walk break, a good way to help to cool the body down. So we're going to come to all fours here. So whatever you were seated on, just move that out of the way. Go ahead, if you have your yoga blocks, place one on either side at the front of your mat. Come to table pose. Spread the fingers wide so the wrists are under the shoulders and the knees are underneath the hips. Find a nice neutral position for the spine. And then as you exhale, round the spine up towards the ceiling or sky. Feel that nice stretch through the back of the body. And then as you inhale, let the pelvis tip forward, lifting the heart and the sternum, taking the gaze forward and up. So just warming up through the spine here. Again, think slow and gentle. Exhale, round the spine, full breath in. And inhale. Again, nice length and stretch through the front of the body. Good, a couple more times. Exhale. And inhale. And then after your next exhale, come back to your table pose, pausing here. Inhale and exhale. And we're going to go through a little flow with a child pose and a little low cobra pose. So come a little towards the back of your mat because we're going to be sliding forward onto our belly. So from this table pose, exhale to a cat pose, fold all the way back to that child pose. Let's stay here for a breath or two. Inhale and exhale. If your forehead doesn't come to the mat, you can stack up your hands, let your forehead rest on your hands, or you can use one of your blocks if you'd like. Inhale and exhale. And then press into the hands, just lift the head slightly, and we're going to slide forward. Land the elbows, come forward into this little baby low cobra pose. And then exhale, press into the hands, around the spine up through that cat pose and fold back to your child pose. And again, your hands are going to slide a little back as you send your hips back towards your heels. So again, looking up, just sliding forward, let the elbow spin just kind of come through into that little baby low cobra pose. Lowering down, press up through your cat pose and back to your child pose. Again, just think nice, fluid, slow movements here. Good. So inhale, again, take the gaze a little forward. Slide the hands a little forward, let the elbows bend, land the hips down, the hands are beside the chest. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower the forehead back to the mat. And then pressing into the hands, come up to that table pose, round through your cat pose, and back to child pose. Let's do that a couple more times. So inhale, take the gaze forward, slide the hands a little forward, let the elbows bend, slide onto your belly, press into the feet. Inhale, lifting up that baby cobra. Exhale, lower down. Press up to your table pose, round to your cat pose, and back to that child pose. Let's do that one more time. So again, take the gaze a little forward, slide the hands a little forward, bend the elbows, land your hips down, press into the feet. Inhale, lift that forehead the head, the upper chest. Exhale, lower down. Press up to your table pose. And again, back to that child pose. Stay here a breath or two. Inhale and exhale. And then pressing into the hands, come up to your table pose. Now more center yourself on the mat once again. And then bring the hands in front, curl your toes under, lift the knees, send your sit bones up and back. Come to a bent knee, downward facing dog. So press into the fingertips, the base of the knuckles, find that nice length in your spine. You can paddle through the feet here a little bit if you'd like. Inhale and exhale. And then very gently release the knees down to the mat and curl the toes. Step the right leg forward, coming to a lunge. And as you step that right leg forward, just find your blocks here. Hands on your blocks. So again, staying low to the ground in this lunge position. Open up through the front of the body. And then as you exhale, send your hips straight back, straighten the front leg. You can walk the blocks back a little bit if you'd like. But think of having the back leg in this position where we have the hip right over top of the knee. So we're not folding way back here. And then straighten the front leg as much as feels appropriate. Not hyperextending, but just getting that stretch in the hamstring. And then inhale, land back forward in your lunge, open through the front of the body. And then gentle exhale and fold back. Let's do that a couple times. Again, just moving slow. Inhale, come forward. Again, we're staying close to the ground, low to the ground. Exhale, folding back. Good, once more. Inhale, come forward. And exhale, shift the hips straight back. Now this time, inhale, bring the foot down, come back to that lunge, just move your blocks to the side, hands to the mat, step your leg back to your table pose, and then bring hands in front, curl your toes under, sit bones again, up and back, find that bent knee, downward facing dog, couple breaths, nice, lengthen your spine, inhale and exhale. And then very gently release the knees down to the mat and curl the toes. Step your left leg forward to your lunge. Again, think of that alignment, left heel underneath the knee. Find your blocks and feel free to put your blocks on whatever height you need. You know, if you need that taller height, if one hip's a little tighter than the other, do which variation feels the best. So starting here, widen across the collarbones, press into both feet. That left hip is drawing back. Exhale, shift the hips straight back, straighten the front leg. Keep that foot flexed, so heel to the floor, toes pointing up. And then inhale, come back forward. And as we do this a couple times, notice the tracking of your hips. So send the hips straight back. Make sure they're not wiggling side to side as they go back. They'll try to cheat. Inhale, come back forward. Good. Exhale, shift the hips back. And inhale, back forward. Exhale, again, shift the hips back. And then as we come back to the front of the mat, landing in that lunge again, blocks out of the way, hands to the mat, curl the back toes under. Actually, let's step back. Again, we're staying low to the ground, so step back to your table pose, and then send your sit bones up and back to that downward facing dog. Again, nice soft bend in the knees, nice quiet position here. Focus on your breath. Inhale and exhale. And then gently release the knees down to the mat and curl the toes. And we're going to come into a seated position. So again, you can use one of those blocks, or if you have your blanket, we're going to come into a seat. This time, soles of the feet together and a little bound angle pose here. So soles of the feet together, knees to the outside. Take hands to the fronts of the shins or the fronts of the knees, whatever feels comfortable here for you. Lengthen up through the crown of the head. Inhale and exhale. And then ever so gently think of hinging at the hip. Just let yourself fold just a little forward. Don't worry about coming all the way down. Just think of keeping a nice stretch through the lower back and some nice opening here in the hips. So we don't want to let the hips collapse back and round like this. We want to think of that pelvis tipping forward. So again, you may not go as far down, and that's fine. We're still getting a nice stretch through the hips here and that nice length through the spine. And with the gaze down, again, it helps to keep that energy level down a little bit. Take your gaze out past your toes. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. And then very gently walk yourself back up. Take the hands to bring the legs back up. If you're using a block to sit on, let's go ahead and remove the block. We won't use the block for this next one. If you're using a blanket or a cushion, you can stay seated on your blanket or cushion. I'm going to turn sideways so that you can see. But from this position, we're going to start in Dandasana in staff pose. We're going to bend your right knee and line your right foot heel up with your sit bone. So we're keeping this nice alignment. And then the left hand is going to come to the outside of this right knee. And as we do that, we're not going to draw that knee in. We're going to keep, again, that foot flat on the mat. And then float the right arm up, lengthen the spine, exhale, backstroke the hand down behind you, land it right behind your hip, your sit bone, your right sit bone, and revolve your torso to the right. So you can make a little tent with the fingertips if that helps lift you up a little bit more, or again, hand to your mat, or if you're seated on the blanket or cushion, you might have your hand on that blanket or cushion. Keep that extended leg energized, flexing the feet. Inhale and exhale. And then as you inhale, lengthen up through the crown of the head, untwist, come back to center, gently slide the right leg out, come back to your Dandasana, staff pose. Inhale and exhale. Now bend the left knee, again line that left heel up with that left sit bone, and don't bring your foot in so far that you lose your alignment here. You want to keep that nice long spine. So right hand is going to come again a little to the outside. You can also come underneath, but there's a real tendency to really push that knee in. So think of coming around the outside so you can kind of press that knee out into that hand so it doesn't collapse. And then float the left arm up, lengthen the spine. As you backstroke that hand down behind you, gently revolve to your left. So think collarbones nice and wide. Stay right up on those sit bones. Inhale and exhale. Again, staying low to the ground here in this twist, keeping our energy level more at that lower end of our range. Inhale and exhale. And again, inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, untwist, slide that leg back out, come back again to Dandasana. Inhale and exhale, legs extended out, feet flexed, open up across the collarbones. And then very gently come to the end of your mat, and we're going to come down and do a supported bridge pose. So you're going to need one of your blocks. I want you to see this before you come down to do it, because when you're in a bridge pose, you don't want to turn your head to the side to look at the video. So from this reclined position, the knees are bent, heels underneath the knees. We're going to take our block, turning it on the lowest setting, lift your hips up and place your pelvis and sacrum right on your block so your pelvis is supported. If you have it in your lower back, then your hips are going to fall down. That's not where we want it. We want it right underneath the pelvis, and then you still keep energy in the upper body. You're pressing into the palms, the forearms, the upper arms. Shoulder blades are drawing towards the spine. You're pressing into the feet. And then when you come out to release that, you slide the block out and slowly lower back down. So we'll do that all together. So from your reclined position, lying on your mat, heels underneath the knees, take that block on the lowest setting, press into the feet, lift your hips up, set your pelvis on the block. Make sure again that it feels stable and that your thighs are parallel with each other, hip distance apart, feet hip distance apart. Reach your fingertips down towards your heels, press into the palms, the forearms, the upper arms, draw the shoulder blades towards the spine, press into the feet. Gaze gently up towards the ceiling. Think of lifting the sternum towards the chin towards the sky. Inhale and exhale. Again, nice support here. If we were in this position, using our energy to keep the hips lifted up off of the block, then again, our energy level would rise. So this is an excellent way to get this nice length and stretch through the spine and through the front of the body with some support. So find your breath, breathing gently in and out of the nose. Think full inhales and full exhales. Good, another breath here, inhaling and exhale. And then very gently press into your foundation. So you're pressing into the arms and the shoulders and the feet. Lift your hips up and then very gently just slide that block out from underneath you. Slowly lower the back all the way down to the mat. Pausing here. Inhale and exhale. And we'll do one last little release here that's really nice. Again, lowering our energy level. So picking the feet up off the mat, take hold of the tops of the knees with the hands so your arms are straight, supporting the weight of your legs, and you should feel a little gentle arch of your lower back away from the mat. And then as you exhale, bend your elbows, just draw your knees a little towards your chest till you feel the lower back flatten to the mat. And then inhale, straighten the arms, press the knees a little away, feel that curve come back. So just a little pelvic tilt here. So do that a few times. Again, just moving with the breath, slow and gentle. Inhale and exhale. Inhaling, press the knees away, arms straight. Exhale. Bend the elbows, draw the knees a little towards you. So those arms are still supporting the weight of the legs. Inhale and exhale. And the next time that you draw the knees in, just give them a good little squeeze in and then release one foot down, the other foot down, and slide one leg all the way out, the other leg all the way out. Let the palms turn up with the arms resting down by your side, feet flopping open. Let your eyes gently close. So again, one of the best ways to end our practice, or the best way to end our practice, is a little rest in Shavasana, which again helps the body continue to cool down. So we'll take just a few breaths here. If you have time, 5 to 10 minutes is super in Shavasana. But we'll stay here for a few breaths. Again, just gently breathing in and out of the nose, and just think of letting your body get heavier and heavier on your mat. The bones heavy. Easy, gentle breath. Again, no effort. Just let the body relax and slow down and cool down. And then very gently begin to bring awareness again back to your breath, taking again a nice long inhale. Nice long exhale. Gently draw one knee in towards the chest, the other knee in towards the chest, and then roll over onto your side and just press yourself up to a seated position. Again, you can let the eyes remain closed for just a few more moments if you'd like. Rest the hands on the thighs with the palms facing up. And as you're ready, gently let the eyes open. So thank you for joining me for this little cooling flow today. And again, some tips for when you're doing a practice, if you do feel like You know, if you're doing a home practice and you feel like you're getting a little overheated, that cooling breath that we started with is great to add in. Slow down your movements, stay low to the ground. You know, in those lunges, a lot of times we bring the arms overhead in the lunges, but if you keep those arms down, again, it's going to help to keep your body, that energy level a little lower while you're still getting those nice, that nice work for your hips and those nice spinal twists and things to benefit you. So I hope you enjoyed that. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this video. Check out Grey Horse Yoga in the description box, and I hope to see you sometime soon in the saddle or on the mat. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.